Hello everyone and welcome back to Talk My FPL. It has been a while. I'm very sorry about that. I started a new job recently. Just finished school, so didn't have much time to be able to record anything. Still been keeping up with FPL, just not enough time to actually record anything. So we're going to do a quick recap of the last 4 weeks from game week 22 to 25. And in a separate video, I will be doing my game week 26 team selection video and going through all of my plans for all the new doubles that came out, which has been absolutely insane. There's been so many doubles, so much thinking that I just haven't had a chance to put them into a video. But let's look at it quickly and see what my thought process was. And honestly, this will be a good time to be able to reflect on my decision making, see if it was a good decision or see if it was a bad decision for most of these games. Okay, so let's start with game week 22. This game week was a double game week for, I believe, Manchester United. There weren't many other doubles. I think Brentford had a double as well. Yeah, I think Leicester were going to double, but then their game was postponed before the deadline. Unfortunately, I made the dumb move to bring Madison in for Son before the deadline. Before the deadline closed, way before the deadline closed. I brought him in like a day or two before the hand, and then Madison ended up not having an extra fixture. So I was feeling pretty fucking silly then, but luckily Madison was able to, I believe, score in the Tottenham game. De Gea doing pretty decent, got 4 points in 2 games. Ronaldo, a very disappointing captain. I believe he missed one of the games in 22, which was very surprising. He got benched randomly in 22. Yeah, against Aston Villa, just didn't play at all. Then the Brentford game, he only played 70 minutes. So that was an absolute travesty of a game week for me because yeah, Ronaldo not playing as much as he was going to was really hurtful. Yeah, but luckily Trent and Cancelo made up for the points. Unfortunately, they're so highly owned that they didn't really do much. Bowen and Rafinha also coming in with some helpful points, but overall, just a very average game week. 66 points in the final, which is pretty decent overall. I believe this game week did bring me up in the rankings, so it was overall a decent rank. I think we were starting to get set up for double game week 26 at this point, starting to think about the future, starting to think about who has lots of double game weeks available. Like for example, Watkins, I knew had a lot of game weeks coming up that need to be rearranged. Same with Davies, that's why I thought I'd keep him. At this point, Foster was back. I think he went injured as well later in the season, but we'll talk about that in a few minutes. This is also around the time where I had to start thinking about when to get rid of Rudiger because Chelsea were blanking so often, and they still are. They're going to blank in 27, and they blanked in 24 and 25 or 3. I can't remember, but yeah, it was ridiculous how many he had. So he had to get out. We had to get him out of there eventually. But yeah, overall decent game week at 22. Let's move on to 23. Game week 23. This was a trip. I thought that bringing in King instead of Dennis was a genius, humongo bungo brain move. In the end, it was a good move because Dennis ended up getting a red card, but my God, was it disappointing. Watford had double game week this week, and it was just boring. They got 0-0 against Burnley. They didn't do anything in the game before that. I can't remember who they played, to be honest. It wasn't anything exciting. Actually, sorry, it was against Norwich. They ended up losing 3-0. Like, it was just ridiculous. That was the game that Dennis ended up getting a red card. So yeah, we brought in King. We brought in De Bruyne for Madison. Just Madison's pictures weren't that great, and he wasn't doubling anytime soon, and he's still not, surprisingly. Leicester have 3 extra fixtures left, and they're not doubling at all in 29, 28, or 26, which seems insane. But yeah, they're just not doubling. It's too much European fixtures going on. Yeah, we brought in King, decided to captain him. It was really close for me between De Bruyne and King, but in the end I went with King. Obviously that was a clear mistake when he only got 3 points when De Bruyne got 8 in one game. So that was a mistake. Kufal on the bench also looks like a mistake. He played somebody, I can't remember who they played. I think they might have played somebody pretty weak. I can't remember. Oh, they ended up playing Man United, but yeah, I guess he must have gotten an assist or something. I don't understand how he got 7 points, considering they conceded in that game and lost 1-0. Or maybe he was taken off before the clean sheet was wiped. One of the two. Foster Annette getting 6 points. He missed the first game due to COVID, which was, I guess, overall a good thing. I mean, if we would have gotten an extra point, but yeah, in the end, it looks like it's not that big a deal. De Gea, when he was sitting on the bench with 6 points, I know Foster's coming back before they play another game. It's just like, man, this is gonna be rough. Like if Burnley get a goal, I'm gonna be punching air. Everyone else in the team doing nothing really exciting. Rudiger getting a clean sheet. That's kind of what he's in the team for. But yeah, other than that, not a great game week. 44 points. Game week rank of 1.7 mil. We took a -4, so it's actually only 40 points, just above the average. But not a great game week overall. On to 24. Okay, so game week 24. This is the week we brought in Robertson for Rudiger. This is when Rudiger's fixtures disappeared, so we had to get rid of him. There's just no point keeping him. He would have been just dead weight. I guess I could have kept him for the value I had in him, but it wasn't enough for me to think it was worth it, so I thought I'd sell him. Bring in Robertson for the next couple of game weeks. Bring him in for the game week 26. The idea with that is, and it actually worked out quite well, is I was going to bring in Robertson this week, and then game week 26, I was going to bring in Salah for Jota, and then drop Ronaldo to Weghorst. And then I was thinking about doing a -4 to bring De Bruyne out for Son, which I'm still considering and I think will probably happen. But that has not been decided yet, so don't quote me on that. There's a lot of things I want to do, and there's a lot of hits I might be taking, but right now I'm at no hits, so that's good here at least. Yeah, this game week was really interesting. I mean, Jota and Bowen were so highly owned that their points actually were hurting me more than they were helping me. Like, I think Jota was 104% owned according to Live FPL, so his game week score actually hurts me more than it helped me. But it's nice to see that your players are doing well. Obviously, like if I didn't have Jota, I'd be in a much worse situation. So it's better to have him than not have him. But when you have players, you want them to be doing, and they're doing well. You want to be going up the ranks, not staying exactly where you were, or even potentially going down. De Bruyne doing absolutely great things. I believe they were playing like Watford this week or something. They were playing a really weak team. I can't remember the team now. They were playing Brentford, sorry. And yeah, I just thought that was a really weak game, really easy game for them. I'm happy De Bruyne started. He got a goal in that game, which was just very lovely. They hit the clean sheet, so Cancelo obviously 7 points. Yeah, Robertson and Trent getting 6 points each. Robertson, I feel like, was robbed. There was one point where he had lots of bonus points potential, and then I think somebody scored in the Leicester Liverpool game, and he just lost all his bonus points. So I was pretty upset about that. I want him to get 7 or 8 points because he's my differential for Liverpool, right? He's the reason that I get any points from Liverpool right now. Kufal getting 5 points. I believe he got an assist, so that's pretty decent. Overall, the team did pretty well. I was pretty happy with this week overall. Yes, as we can tell, I got 80 points, so it's hard to be upset with 80 points, and especially a game week rank at 641. That's a very good game week rank. Definitely helped me go up the ranks overall. I can't remember exactly what the overalls were at this point. I was going up and down quite a lot, though. Anywhere between like 35 to 10K is where I was floating in. Right now I'm at 1815. It's 18,515 as you can see. So yeah. Let's go on to game week 25. Okay, so game week 25, looking back at this, I feel like it's very obvious, and it's easy to say in hindsight, but I should have taken De Bruyne out for either Son or Fernandez. And here's why I say or. The reason I say or is because I would have taken -4 to bring him in the first place, because in game week 24, I made a transfer of... Sorry, I actually made no transfers this game week. The reason for that, and the thought process behind not making a transfer this week, I was going to save 2 for the double game week 26. I thought the team was strong enough to do well. I had 2 double game weekers in a game week where only 2 teams were double game weeking, so the max you could have is 6. So if I have a 33% filling of potential double game weekers, I feel like I'm doing pretty well, especially considering that one of them is Brighton. You don't want Brighton players long term anyways, knowing the way they can see goals and don't score goals. So I thought I was doing pretty well with my team. The only thought was, like, because Ronaldo had been benched before, I was worried he was going to get benched again, but I thought, they don't really have any European fixtures, they don't have anything midweek. Why would he keep benching Ronaldo if he has nothing else to do? Like, he has no other games to play. So I thought, screw it, I'll captain him, hope for the best. De Gea, vice captain, hope for the best as well. I believe De Gea kept a clean sheet in one game and conceded in the other, but kept some save points, so pretty decent for him. Ronaldo didn't score in one game, scored in the next game. Was very decent. I was quite happy about that. I got 10 points. I was looking forward to it. He was on for 3 bonus points, and then Fernandez, in the 96th minute, he comes out of nowhere, goes and scores, and ruins my entire day. So yeah, that was quite unfortunate, especially considering that De Bruyne, 12 million sitting on my bench with 0 points. Absolute travesty. The fact that Pep didn't play him was very annoying. I think it's because he played in the Champions League later that week, which is fully understandable, but also still very annoying. So I was quite upset about that. The other player I was thinking about bringing actually too was Mahrez, because I do want Mahrez in the future. I think when I do wildcard, he is somebody that I'm going to bring in. I just think Mahrez' upside is so high, considering that Man City are always attacking. He's on penalties. and he just seems to be in really good form. And when he doesn't play, he doesn't seem to come off the bench either. So I mean, obviously 8.7 million is a lot to be sitting on your bench often, but I think it's worth it. Honestly, I think he's worth the risk. It's a high reward, high risk, high reward. So I think he's probably worth it. Liverpool players doing all right. Jota only getting 1 point, but the other two keeping a clean sheet. Davies, of course, conceding because Tottenham are Tottenham. They always find a way to concede somehow. And yeah, everyone else in the team really didn't do much. Bowen had an absolute great game week in 25. Yeah, scoring against Leicester. I believe he scored an assist against Leicester as well, so that was very good. But yeah, unfortunately, Kufal lost his clean sheet quite heavily by conceding 2 goals. So overall, this game week was pretty good. I was quite happy with it. I'm happy I didn't make any transfers. It was a pretty decent game week. We got a 1.2289 million game week, so I'm quite happy with that overall. Final points at 64. Pretty decent, honestly. I was pretty happy with that. But yeah, that is just a quick recap of everything that happened in the last couple weeks. Again, very sorry that I haven't been uploading at all. Try to bring in some more content that is a little more analytics based. This was just more like a recap, something just to sit on my couch, quickly chat with you guys, and show you guys what I've been doing in FPL for the last couple game weeks. Hopefully everyone had really good game weeks. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's winning their mini leagues. I'm quite happy. Thanks everyone for watching. If you have any questions or want to comment on the teams that I've been doing, commenting about the terrible transfers I've been making, please feel free to put them down in the comments down below. And yeah, I hope everyone has a good time. Cheers, everybody.